You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in studio HQ, ProFit Pulse Fitness HQ, joined as always by Randy Angson. Was a guy.
How we doing, brother?
Dude, I'm pumped, man.
Yeah?
I'm pumped. This Black Friday thing's got me thinking, man. I'm thinking we should try to set we'll do like a leaderboard, like a record of how many
Who
wins.
I think I was thinking about that when we
were
were kind of talking with, yesterday, kind of formulating what
we should do, like
how it's going to go
plaque
down.
or something.
Yeah,
or
literally award somebody for the most
Dude, revenue.
I'm really curious who's got the biggest engaged list.
Yeah.
Like who has a list that they can actually sell to. Dude, we could see $100,000 in a week, or no, a couple weeks.
Weekend.
Yeah,
for sure. All right. So quick reminder, if you haven't listened to that episode, it was the one right before this one. So just, listen to this one and then go back a level. And one other thing, guys, we don't have a lot of reviews on our podcast. We would love to hear what you think, about our podcast. A 5-star with a glowing review is obviously what we want to see.
What we're shooting for.
I think we have like 60 or 61, ratings. We'd love to see that in the hundreds.
Sure.
It'd be cool because we've had well over 50,000 downloads. So hopefully,
I think over 60 now.
60,000
Yeah.
downloads. I haven't looked in a while, but very cool. So we got that. This episode today is going to be just a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more tactical, a little bit more, what we're seeing and questioning about what gym owners are using as their hook, their marketing, their offers.
Yeah, more the marketing realm.
So tell me why this topic today?
Yeah, obviously, as part of what I do, I take our calls with gym owners, right? A lot of you guys call in and we discuss your business. And so before I get on the phone with somebody, I do my own vetting and research. And so I'm popping around all these different gym websites and looking at their, essentially the pole in the water, if I, from their website side. I'll look up their Facebook, Instagram, things like that. And all of the time, I'm still seeing gyms leading with things like a free session or a free consultation
or
a free class. And as we continue to talk about marketing, talk about building the business, talk about the systems that are into play, and now consider where we are in business, today, I don't think that is enough to continue to market or to sell and move somebody into a high-end membership. Okay. I think that gym owners are I don't think that we've looked at it in a long time. I think that was the thing that worked for a long time, and it was just kind of the industry standard. Yeah, drop in.
Or a free week.
A free week. A free week might have a little bit more legs depending on what you're servicing within that week.
What they get, yeah.
Yeah, what you're delivering upon. But I wanted to talk about it because our objective when it comes to gaining a client is not just usually, obviously we talk with gyms across the board, but most of our clients are personal training, semi-private, one-on-one, even group training, but more of the training model where it's intimate, it carries a little bit higher cost. This is not a $9.99 gym membership. Mm-hmm. We're talking, some of these things carry, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 costs per year. And, before the podcast, we're talking about, a quarter to a fifth of a vehicle that these people are investing with you. And you're expecting to be able to do that with maybe an hour's worth of time with this individual. And so I think that we're really downplaying the level of service we can provide to a prospect. And if we realign kind of our servicing or our offering, how we're trying to bring somebody through the door, I think we're going to see greater success.
Yeah, I think you're right. Especially the free consultation one. That room kind of bugs me. Like, really, I think the marketplace you would hope they would understand that's a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the gym I train at, when I'm not here at HQ, I walk through the door and they got a giant banner across right in front of their personal training, station that says, sign up for your free consultation. Nobody walks over to the table and does that.
What are they doing?
It's full everybody knows, hey, this is my opportunity to go pay more money for a service that maybe I want.
Maybe I don't need, whatever.
Exactly. But position it in a different way. I think that we need to more of the relationship management more of the understanding. I think we're so hung on direct response marketing, and we have been since Facebook really took off with it, that our assumption is that all that works, that's where we should be putting our time and attention, and we're completely
missing the boat.
Yeah, in a way where, you can generate a lead. Just because you generate a lead and somebody who's interested in whatever that, they opted in for, maybe it's an ebook or a recipe guide or something, that doesn't mean you need to pitch them today to join your business. Like, let's open up a line of conversation. Let's build a relationship. And I think that we're burning leads, calling the leads bad, when that lead was not interested in buying your stuff. That lead was interested in your ebook. You know what I mean? Let's build some value with that client.
Well, that goes into our whole coaching model with the ascension ladder.
Exactly.
And getting people from the lead magnet, the ebook, up to, the next level and the next level and the next level. I think marketing, the purpose of every piece of the marketing is to move them into the next step. So the image is to get their attention, to stop.
So they read.
To stop. You read it to then hopefully be intrigued. The button's there for you to then to click into the next step and then read, and then you have to have a video. Each thing is to get them to the next step, and the offer has to be buried in there somewhere that's intriguing enough to get somebody to continue to want to move forward, because it's a step by step, little micro commitments happening throughout this process. Even if somebody drives past your building, the sign. Stop, think, move in. Like there's micro commitments happening throughout the marketing cycle. But I think the bigger point here is once you do get them in the gym, what you offer, what the services you're providing before they become a member has a big impact on whether or not they become a basic member, a boot camp member, or a high-end personal training member.
Yeah, I think that we've gotten to a point where it's almost like pure scarcity mindset or desperation, where we will say and do anything to get a lead through the door, and then we're grabbing at straws, doing whatever we can to sell them something, as opposed to positioning and planning and guiding somebody, prescribing the fix, if you may, right, to their problems. Marketing is a process, and I think that I honestly feel like most gyms in this industry, we don't market. No, we sell.
The complete, I guess, marketing campaign is one ad to one offer and go. That's what you see.
Exactly, and that's selling.
And then when that dries up, what's the next play?
Exactly, the shiny ball syndrome, right? We're hopping from hook to hook to hook.
Hook to hook to hook, yeah. And it's a tough place to be because, yes, at any given point, you need leads in your gym coming in, right? And unfortunately, a lot of times what happens in order to get a high volume of lead, the offer then needs to be a little bit, one, free. Free always generates leads. So guys, if you want leads, offer free. If you want to blow up your feed, hold on. If you want like unlimited leads, unlimited, and this is like the secret nobody's talking about. Here's your secret offer. If you want leads, offer a free membership.
Boom. Give it all away, guys.
Free membership, you're going to get leads. Trust me on this one.
100%. But that's exactly how I feel. Like, we're constantly
By the way,
asking,
guys, that was very sarcastic.
Yes.
Please
don't
don't offer that. But the point is,
even to that, you could offer that as a raffle or as a contest or something along those lines. And I think state law might apply on what you can and can't do there. But obviously check there. But that is a hook, right? You could run a challenge or a sweepstakes for a free membership. You're going to get a bunch of people throwing their information into that hat, but they're not interested in coming in and buying a membership, most likely.
Yeah, the big takeaway from what I just said is if you want a bunch of leads, which are names and numbers on a piece of paper, that's all they're worth, is the ink that they were printed on the paper. That's all they're worth. The point is that those people are they're not buyers. They're not buyers. You're going to waste your time.
Exactly.
So don't waste your time.
And I think that we as an industry need to get back to servicing the marketplace with our intention, right? To help people and not just sell something. And I think that when we can continue to create better content, give away value, the more of that long-term play, you're not going to run out of leads because you have it's going to be you're going to have leads because they live in your email list, if you may.
You own the leads.
You own them at this point. But then the buying cycle is always based upon when the consumer is ready to buy, not necessarily when you're ready to sell them something. And I think we've become so desperate and so hung on direct sales, and everything's about, discounted offers, buy now, do it today.
Direct response, yeah.
But we don't have, everything I read with marketing, it's about positioning the offer at the right time, not positioning in front of the person when you have their attention. We haven't earned the opportunity to sell to this person yet. And marketing is very, very much deep. It's very deep in psychology, right? And I think it might be Seth Godin's This Is Marketing that stands out for this idea stood out for me. But I honestly think we're doing ourselves and we're doing our marketplace a disservice, and we're burning leads. We're burning the people in our localities because we're literally too aggressive on the sale. Not that you shouldn't sell when the opportunity is in front of you, but make sure you have the right to sell to that individual.
Yeah, and you're turning a bunch of people off.
Yeah.
The case in point is the 6-week challenge blow up.
Yes.
Right? You burn through your entire marketplace, and I feel bad for the folks that are in smaller towns. They have 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 people in their market, and everybody's heard about it, and everybody's gotten wind of it, and they don't want to deal with you. And next time you have something even amazing to share with them, they're not paying attention anymore.
Here's a perfect example, and it just kind of clicked. I mean, it's not apples to apples, but I just got a text message earlier. Somebody bought a list somewhere. My name must have been on it. It's an old residence that I lived in. Never owned the home. But I get a text message that says, "Hey, Randy, I'm a buyer in Scottsdale looking to buy homes. Have you ever considered selling this residence?"
Yeah.
One,
who the hell
do
are
some
you?
damn research, because my name's not on that mortgage. My name's not on that title.
Yeah.
Why are you positioning an opportunity to sell or sell your services to me or pitch me on something?
I guess from that realtor standpoint, he's like, let me blast this out there. What do I have to lose? And if I hook one person, but on Facebook, it's a little different because now your page, your logo versus a text. Right?
Versus a text. Yeah, and I have no idea who this guy is, right?
So you wouldn't know anyway. So,
exactly.
So in that situation, the guy's just shotgunning it, and he's going to go for it. And but he totally missed the boat.
But I think that a lot of it's happening where we're literally throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Sucks.
As opposed to creating and formulating a plan or positioning a few different offers or a few different poles in the water, allowing yourself to build a list of engaged individuals who are interested in the things that you're selling. You know what I mean? Create a system that will allow you the opportunity to sell to people who are interested in buying, not just slap everybody. It's like the candy bar at the checkout. They don't literally throw one in everyone's bag. You have to want it in order to buy it. And we're not marketing to our individuals. We're trying to sell long before we have somebody's interest.
Yeah. And going back to what you give them as far as, maybe it's a free week, maybe it's 14 days, maybe it's a paid, whatever. When they're in your gym, the big thing to take away here is that you give them or you service them with the services you want them to convert into.
Yes.
Should make sense, right? If they only do your large group training because it was, cost effective for you to provide that service and you gave it away for cheap, you're not going to convert them into a semi-private training client unless they've tried it. They only know what they know. So you can't expect them to go from a $99 or $150 up to like a $400 membership because, one, they haven't experienced the small group training, and two, it's too big of a jump. And
on top of that brings up another point, right? Your services have to be a different experience. If you have a gym where group training is the same as your semi-private, is the same as your one-on-one, just the number of people that are doing the workout is different. Mm-hmm. That's not the same. That's not a different level of service.
Yes, this is something we coach our clients on very, very close, especially the ones that are converting from boot camp, large group training models into semi-private training. The service you provide have to look, act, taste, feel different because, like to your point, Randy, if it's the same workout, the same exact everything, just with half as many people, you can't call that semi-private training and you can't charge more for that. What you can charge for more is personalized coaching, more availability, different movements, strength training versus, everybody's in a room getting sweaty.
Yeah, just a metabolic conditioning or something.
You can charge more for that. In fact, that you should
is what you should be doing.
You should be charging more for that. And it's really why the benefit is to move to semi-private training, because you can charge a lot more, you can make more per hour, but you're giving your client a better experience, better result, I should say. The experience is negligible because you may have a great large group training experience, but that might not be the same experience that somebody wants in semi-private training. So it's a little thing, but also going back to getting people to move up into your small group training from large group, you've got to give it to them. So a lot of ways we do it. One of the best ways to do it is an upgrade challenge, or a challenge where they buy in for just for your clients, and then with the challenge, with the 6-week, 8-week, 12-week, whatever it is, they get the next level of service up for their fee. So you can kind of give them a taste of what it is. And we always convert out of that. Another way to do that, guys, is pick 5 to 10 boot camp, or call them boot camp here, but like large group training members, 5 to 10 of them, bring them into the office, explain to them that you want to give them 30 days free at this next level membership because you see that they would benefit from it and all the reasons why, and watch what happens at the end of those 30 days.
Make that your challenge. If you have that availability within your facility, do that. Because I just got off the phone with one of our private clients who's making that transition, didn't have semi-private available as a service in his gym before. They ran a lot of publications, made the membership base very aware that something new was coming. It was different than what they had experienced in the past. They had 20 people try that service, and they had I don't know what he's converted yesterday or so far, but after we talked, he had 25 verbals out of 20 people that tried it. So obviously, guys, there are people in your facilities that want to experience something new or want a different result. And that brings up another point. I was having a conversation about the CLA and the reason that we leave what we call breadcrumbs on our leads as they come into the business. If somebody comes into your business on a specific offer versus general, more information, let's say, for this, let's get specific, right? Let's say your website has your trial and it's listed out as what's included with a form that they could fill out, versus the contact us section on your website that doesn't have any information, maybe a box like, what are you looking for type of thing. Those are two different areas, but they leave clues, right? That should work your way into your system. When you sit down with that individual, you shouldn't start both of those conversations like, hey, how can we help you today? No, specifically what this person's interested in. Let's start to guide that conversation. Let's lead with that.
Yeah, I see that you're interested in our trial.
Yes, exactly, right? I mean, that's powerful.
Yeah, when you know what they're interested in before they even come in.
And it tells the consumer that, hey, they've paid attention. They care about me, and I'm not even part of their organization yet. They've done more than what most businesses would do, and I haven't even given them any money yet. So win your clientele over by creating a better relationship with them. Provide value long before expecting them to cut you a check. I think that we need to get back to that.
I think that's what we're doing on this podcast, buddy. What do you think?
I think that's exactly what we're doing with this podcast.
We're giving you guys some value.
So but that's a good challenge. That is a great challenge for them to take away.
Pull 10 of them in once a month and just do it. I mean, we do it periodically. We're dwindling down our boot camps on purpose, and we've kind of moved everybody up. So let me loop you all in what's going on here. So we made a decision a while back that semi-private training is the way to the future for us. We didn't see boot camp as being strictly boot camp being a big help for us. We may have reconsidered a little bit for a couple reasons, and I know people ask me this, hey, how's it going with the no boot camps? Well, we never got rid of them. We cut them in half, and then we've even cut them even further down, so there's way less availability. And this is a struggle for us. Like, what do we do when somebody cannot afford our lowest price point be $365? Like, what do we do? Should we have something here? Because you count the numbers of the people that were started with us in boot camp and now are in semi-private. That's just that's the stair step. That's the ascension to get them in. We wouldn't have gotten those people. So are we really cutting our foundation out by not having a boot camp membership, a large group training as a feeder into our semi-private? And I think Zach and I both agree that's probably needs to be in there somewhere. We need to have something. We knew, and it's always been like 20% or less of our revenue comes from boot camp. But I think we should have it on some capacity, but we also look at very closely every quarter at the capacity, the attendance, and right away we identified 2 sessions that we're going to take off the schedule and replace with semi-private right away because they're very low
attendance.
It didn't make any sense. So that's what we do. We constantly analyze what's happening. We're constantly testing. We're constantly understanding what's going to drive the business forward. And small group training for us it has always been there, and it's definitely going to be there in the future. But we're probably going to have something just below it, and a couple other reasons too, because we enjoy training that method. I mean, it's fun. The music's pumping, high five and chest bumps, sweaty bodies all over the place, and and people get great results from it too. I'm not going to discredit that at all, but from a financial model, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense, but there's some potential to have it.
I think we'll talk about this after, but I think we've got our next podcast episode figured out from that. Boom.
Yeah. And that's how we come up with our podcast.
Yeah.
on the fly.
But if you want to help us, feel free to leave it in a review. We'd love to talk about what you specifically need help with.
Yeah, so this episode really was, what's that offer? Is it a free week, or is it a free consultation? Is it a free class? I think you need to look a little bit harder, make it more appealing. And then when they do come in, for us, it's always been a trial's always been condensed version of our normal best-selling membership.
Yeah, and some of this comes back to the idea of your cost per acquisition versus the ROI, right? The idea that we talked about in the past, and the idea we teach our clients on buying customers. If you look at your business and your marketing expense, then what it costs to service this client before we've collected anything from them, guys, we're still paying fractional amount of money for most of these people. I mean, pennies on the dollar, right? Like,
of what they're worth.
Yeah, for what they're providing for our business once they sign on the line. Like, don't be afraid of investing $100 towards somebody that's going to cut you a check for $5,000 every time, every single time.
Yeah, it's tough. I 100%. I teach this.
I know.
That's exactly what I taught. I taught to a mastermind group last week was this exact thing. You cannot be afraid to spend money on acquisition. You cannot. But see, where people get nervous is they're so conditioned to get $4 leads, and when a lead comes in at $40, they shut off the campaign, but they don't have all the data.
Yep.
And by the time that person ends up coming in and signing up for membership, maybe you paid $200 to acquire that person, and that client's worth $4,000. Like, look at that number. Would you pay $200 for a $4,000 client? Of course you would. But you've been so conditioned to look at the cost per lead.
Just the cost per lead. Yep.
Stop, guys. You don't have all the. And here's another podcast episode. You don't have all the data.
There we go.
That's so. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that because that hit home. We had a lot of questions about that particular slide that when I was going through that presentation. But yeah, fun stuff, guys. Get clear on who you want to attract. Get clear. I think I was hearing somebody talking about it the other day. If you're running a semi-private training studio with 45-year-old women and a bodybuilder comes in and wants to do powerlifting, we're not a good fit for you.
It's okay to say no.
Yeah, it's okay to say no. So you have to be clear. In the past, maybe if you're a young trainer, young business, you might want to take that client because it's money, but at the same time, you're going to end up being fragmented and you can't service everybody the same way. So be careful there. But going back to your offer, your hook, a couple things to look at. Over deliver what it is.
Yes.
Go create that evergreen trial, that thing that's going to be your staple trial to get people to try your gym. I still think you need to try before you buy in a lot of ways. And I do agree that a paid trial is much more valuable than a free trial, 100%. And we leverage free using Netflix plays and all different kinds of ways to twist it in the hook, but always offer in that short-term trial what you want them to convert into. If you want to convert into boot camp or large group training, give them that. But if you need more, you got to give them some semi-private training in that.
And to that point, you may be able to start with, well, if you lead with over delivering, right, and you're plugging everybody into kind of your bread and butter highest, I don't want to say highest tier, but like a good offering to where they understand the different levels. You can downgrade, right? You can downsell somebody into a lower membership than what they kind of experience. That's a natural understanding process. You're not going to get somebody who's willing to pay more for something they've never experienced, like Tim said earlier. It's not going to happen. And if it does, it's going to be a fluke. But
once in a while,
it's not a
small percentage.
Yeah, that's not the place I'm gambling in.
I mean, you don't even gamble.
And I don't gamble, so you can guarantee that one.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it for this show. Take this, work it, massage it into your gym, into your business. Got some good stuff to share with you guys coming up in a couple future episodes. Stay tuned. Please give us a review, rating if you haven't, and share this with another gym owner if you have not. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next show. Bye.